Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Mac here, playing Metro 2033 Redux. This is a video guide for the Blogger Achievement / Trophy. I'll be showing all 51 diary pages and collectibles in the game. Let's get started. Now, starting off on the tower mission, you'll climb up a short ladder, and then your teammate will be waiting for you to open this door. But before that, make sure you turn to your left, look into this bookcase, and you will find the note. I will be showing the contents of each note for about 2 to 3 seconds after picking them up, and then I'll move on. The next one you can find on the level Hunter. This is your second collectible. You'll walk through this door into this medical hut. You'll see a doctor on the right hand side. He does walk around a little bit back and forth. You have to walk through this part and you can pick up the diary right there. Now, most diaries are in pretty open areas. They are in story based areas, but there's a few out of the way, so we'll be looking out for those. Next up on Exhibition, this is the very beginning of the level. You're going to be forced to pick up some ammo. You're going to pick up your journal off your desk, and as soon as you get control of your character, you're going to want to look downwards and to your right hand side, and you should find the diary on the floor of your room. Again, that one's not too bad. Next up, number 4, again on Exhibition. This is note 2. You'll walk through this area. There's going to be a campfire and another campfire with a guy playing guitar. Walk into this room with the sergeant inside, and I do believe you need to talk to him, but before that, you're going to turn to your right, look in his office, and on this box, you will find another note. Or diary, whichever you call it. Next up is Riga. This is at the very beginning of the level. You will come up from this desk, just walk over to the bar, and you will find a note sitting on the bar. Again, that one's not very bad. And from the bar, we're going to turn around, walk down the stairs. At the bottom of the stairs, make sure you turn left and walk to the very, very end of this hall. You will find some beggars next to a train, and you should be able to easily spot that diary, which does blink and glow in the dark, so they are pretty easy to find once you are in their general area. Number 7, this is note 3 on Riga. You're going to walk through this area, come to this guy who's waiting for you to have a seat with him. Before you sit down and talk to him and accept your mission and whatnot, just make sure you pick up the diary that is behind him, located on this picnic table at the very back of the room. Number 8, on Lost Tunnel. This one is a little confusing because a lot of the rooms do look the same. You're going to open that red door, which is why I shot it. You do interact with that red door. You're going to follow along the hallway. Then there's going to be this green hall with your teammate at the far end. Before you turn the corner and continue on, make sure you pick it up. Now, Lost Tunnel, this one is decently easy to notice where you are. You're going to come to this big gate and your teammate's going to wait for you. But before you go up to him and trigger the cutscene and whatnot, make sure you climb down the ladder into this small pool. And once you're in here, make sure you have your gas mask on and whatnot so you don't die. You're just going to want to use the stairs and jump across onto this little pillar. And next to the pillar, you will find a note next to a fallen soldier. Number 10 is on Market. This is an open area as far as I remember. Now, really quick here at the very beginning, you're going to walk up. This is literally at the beginning of when you gain control of your character. Just walk forward past these 2 guards and you should have no problem finding this one directly in front of you. Now, moving on in the market again. This one, once you get into the main area of the market, on the left side here, you should see an instrument seller. Just keep walking through the doors. Keep going. Through the next door is the weapon shop area, where you can exchange weapons, ammo, and whatnot. And you should find this one worker here working on some welding with a note on his desk. You can't actually interact with him, but he's going to have it. Next up, the Dead City. From the very, very spawn of the level, make sure you just wire the trap that I ran by. Just go up the stairs and then follow along this hallway. At the very end of the hallway, you will find a door. Inside that door, there is a small office. And if you look down on the desk, you should be able to find a diary page. So now that we've picked that up, you're going to have to continue on through the level a little bit. You're going to come to this big street area. Now, your screen might look a little different because of how the lighting works. If you do the level quite fast, it will be still light outside. You'll come to this area with this truck and the river and these signs. It's a little bit hard to explain, but it's near the end of the level if you walk down the big street with the river flowing through the middle. At the very end of that street, turn left, and you will come up into this building. You'll find this door with a chair inside. As soon as you do walk in, it'll kill your flashlight. But if you go through the second door on your right hand side, you should find the second note for Dead City. This one's a little bit hard to track down. Now, near the end of the level, this is still Dead City Note 3. You're going to come to the area where you meet up with your teammate, who will be standing right there. If you follow him along, he'll wait for you right here. And before we go through there, make sure you hang to the right. And if you run through the back door of this building right here, this is a new area that was not previously in the old game. You should find your third and final diary for the Dead City. That achievement, you probably won't be unlocking at the same time as me, so just ignore it. This is in the dry level. As soon as we come out the vent where we spawn at the very beginning, I've cleared out all the enemies. Once you drop down, there's this small gate that connects the two sides right next to where you come out of the vent, and you should be able to find your first note for dry. Now moving on to the end of the level, you will come to a cutscene where very specific things happen that I'm going to try not to spoil, but you'll end up in this room, and before we progress to the next room, make sure you pick up the diary that's located on the desk. This one's not too hard to find at all. Ghosts, Note 1, 17 out of 51. You'll come to this train car and you're going to be following your teammates, but once you get into the train car, make sure you turn to your right hand side and you pick up that note in order to progress. Now you are going to come to a tunnel and you're going to be walking down. This tunnel is quite long, probably takes like a minute or two to sprint by, but if you hang on the right hand side of this tunnel as you walk by it, you should be able to find this corpse, and next to the corpse there will be a note, so just keep your eye on the right hand side of the tracks. Near the end of the level, you will come to this another train, and you'll have to go through it in order to progress and follow your teammate, who will jump down the left hand side. You can actually see my teammate directly in front of me right there. So if you follow him and you look to the left hand side of where he is, you will find a small corner of a note hanging out of a small briefcase. Next up is Cursed. There is only one note on this level, so from the very beginning of the level, that's where I'm showing you guys where to go from. You're going to want to sprint down the middle corridor. On the right hand side, you will see a staircase. You go to the top of the staircase. Make sure you don't do the objective quite yet. You should be able to find this corpse with a note right next to it, but make sure you don't blow up the train station or you won't be able to find this guy afterwards. Armory, Note 1. You can't miss this one. During a cutscene, you'll see it off to your right hand side, and make sure you pick it up. You won't be able to interact with the note and read it right away, but if you use the menu, as you'll see me doing here by pausing the screen, just a second here, pausing the screen, going to diary, that is Armory Note 1. A little bit later in the Armory level, make sure you do what you want to do during the level, as getting this last note will trigger a cutscene and then you will progress through the next level. But near the end of the level, on one end here, you will find this small pit. Inside the pit, you can pick up the diary. Once you're inside this pit, it triggers the next mission, which is called Frontline. At the very end of the Frontline mission, you will come to this corridor, and that's the sign that's going to be in here. And in front of me is a gate that you will need to interact with in order to open it by pulling a lever and spinning a wheel. But before we do that, if you stick to the left-hand side of this room, near the back on a workbench, you can find Note 1 for Frontline. Moving on to the next level, Trolley Combat. Most of this level does take place in a trolley, but at the end of the level, you will get off of your trolley, walk through this hallway, through this next hallway. I believe there is a teammate here with you, and you should be able to spot your note on a cabinet on the left-hand side of the hallway. Number 25, the final one for this part of the video. It's on Depot at the very end of the level. Make sure you don't accidentally end the level by crawling through one of the tunnels. Just run through the train on the left or right hand side. Watch out for the small wire trap, which I did run by. If you go to the very back of this train, you should see a door opening. Jump through it, and now sprint to the very front of the train. Don't worry, I don't believe there are any enemies, so you won't have to worry about that. If you look down near the body at the end of the train, you should be able to find Note 1 of Depot. That's about halfway done. Thanks for watching part 1, guys. Make sure you click on screen for part 2. If the video was helpful, make sure you like it, as it lets me know that I was helpful to you. You can also use this screen to see some of my other videos, and hopefully I see you next time. Peace.